I want to talk about our trip we just took to North Georgia. Really cool spot, recommended by John Eves. Kind of tied in too with a comment on YouTube. An individual was saying that they are basically looking for a mentor. They want to start getting out in the field and doing this on their own. First and foremost, you can contact me on best place to do it is on Facebook, Johnny Two Bears, and you'll see my face on my profile along with the picture of the juvenile Bigfoot that we got at the Happy Place. Scott DeForest is another one in our group. He's probably the best at finding ground sign in the group. Go to the Facebook page, The Sasquatch Encounter Brigade, and just put a post up there. You know, you're looking for someone to talk to, or send an email to theencounterbrigade@gmail.com. Talk to you about whatever, you know, any way we can help out, we will. I guarantee, though, what I've noticed over the years is usually a lot of people that are this interested and end up reaching out already know a lot. You probably know a lot more than you think you do. The biggest thing to learn is what to let go. That is the hardest part. I talked about on an earlier video about how before we started this group, I didn't want to deal with anything online because I saw this theme of people going out and constantly finding sticks in the woods and putting that up as Bigfoot evidence. And I didn't want to do that. My goal was not just to be a content creator. My goal is to find evidence of Bigfoot and hopefully get video of one. So the biggest thing to learn is the debunking process, and it's really not that hard. This trip we just took in North Georgia, Hank has not been out with us a lot. He hasn't been out a lot in general, but he's already got a very good eye for spotting things. He's also a very, very skeptical individual, questions everything, which is excellent. That's the way you have to be. We found enough stuff, and I took enough video to where I was putting it all together yesterday just to show what we did and the things we found. And to be honest with you, by the time I was done, it was too good. It looked like we found a lot more than what we actually did. We found little to nothing on this trip. We found some questionable tracks and a few, like one X and maybe like a bow that was kind of held down by a limb. We had some questionable things happen, like we were up in this field at night and we heard a honk, like somebody's alarm going off. Well, we didn't know if it was my vehicle or not, and we did not think there were any more vehicles around, so we went back to my vehicle and looked all over the vehicle and found these nasty looking handprints. But I mean, they were weird, they were real nasty, but the reality is, unless I'm going to take the time to pull fingerprints from all my children and everybody who lives in my house, and then pull the fingerprints from that, there's no way to know. And me showing that would kind of be like, is this a Bigfoot? Oh, I think it's probably, he's not going to say it, but it's probably a Bigfoot print. Odds are it wasn't. We spent the entire time debunking every single thing we found, and that is the biggest part of this. I refuse to put up stuff just to make videos, just to put videos out. It's just dishonest. And I got done putting together all the video from our trip. I was like, man, this looks pretty good. Well, it looked too good because we didn't find hardly anything. So I just erased everything. There was no point in putting out any type of questionable evidence, even though it made us look a lot more successful than what we really were. Not intentionally, it's just the way it looks. You start explaining things and zooming in on with the camera, and you go by things you've seen in the past, and you put it all together, and it looks all nice and pretty. It looks like you've got something. Well, in reality, we probably had absolutely nothing, and that's not what we're here to do. So that's probably my biggest thing, is the debunking process, and trying to, if you're going to get into doing this, you have got to be prepared to go out into the woods over and over and over again and come home with absolutely nothing until you get in an area where these creatures actually live. You're going to have to get used to striking out over and over again. Honestly, on average, probably 95% of the time, I don't get anything when I go out. But it's just part of it, even in areas where they live, you're not always going to find sign. So to get around that, what I did was just started going out all the time. That way it increased my odds of finding things. That way I wasn't just having to rely on, half-hearted stuff that could possibly or maybe not be something. If I'm not fairly sure about something, I'm not going to put it out. It's just the way it is. But, Hank did a really good job of finding things and then also trying to debunk them at the same time. He's got a good eye. He's never done this before, but he's hunted, I'm assuming, his whole life, and he knows a lot about Bigfoot. That's really all you need. Knowledge of the outdoors and knowledge of the signs and symptoms in an area of Sasquatch habitation. But if you got any questions, you want to talk to me, talk to Scott, talk to anybody in the group, just give that email again. It is theencounterbrigade@gmail.com. All right, y'all have a good one.